What's good, everybody? I hope everybody's having a great week so far. This week we are looking into, this is a continuation of my I don't fuck with you readings, where this is kind of, these are the stories of my life, all right? And the players in them. I've decided not to name names, even though, like, if you're watching this, most likely you know the players that I will be talking about. I'm giving them nicknames so that way, I don't really feel the need to name names. The people who are going to be hearing this story, it's really more just to kind of tell you the backstory of how I got to be the person that I am today. And we're talking about all the trauma that I experienced in my family, my relationships, in my workplace, with my friendships. But this week we're looking into my exes and their families, because not everybody, not every ex, but a lot of them, their families played a big role in creating the conflict and the deceptions that I experienced in my life. So we're going to kind of work our way back. These are, since then I've dated a couple people, but I'm not calling everybody out. I'm calling out the big relationships that I had that had the most effect on me. So the first person that I'm going to look into, we're just going to call him Chicago, because that's where he's from. He's from Chicago. This relationship is really the one that kind of pushed me to start. Well, I don't want to say it pushed me. I was already doing it, but this relationship created so much disruption in my life that I had no choice but to kind of start over. We're gonna kind of get into. We're gonna get into this, okay? Again, we're just calling this guy Chicago because that's where he was from. We're gonna start off with one of these Angel Wisdom Tarot cards, get a couple messages, and then we're gonna go from there. All right. So the first card we got is the Four of Earth. This is the Four of Pentacles. This says, manage your resources wisely. Extremes in how you give or receive money, time, or emotions. Smart business decisions, seeing things as black and white, being charitable. Okay, so yeah, that's very fitting, because and then we got the Ten of Earth, which is the Ten of Pentacles. This says financial security for yourself and your family. Inheritance or retirement, peace and contentment in life, honoring family traditions, pride in the family tree, passions of knowing. Okay, so with the Ten of Pentacles, when this man came into my life, I was very stable. I had my own place. I had my jobs. I was very stable. I wasn't, balling, swimming in cash or anything, but I was very stable. We had a nice home. We had, I was able to manage my finances, I was able to manage everything on my own. Okay. I was very stable and it seemed like everything in my life seemed good. Right. And then with this Four of Pentacles, it's like manage my resources wisely, which I did not really do once this man came in. He was really good at painting this picture of, this is what our future is going to be. This is what we're going to do. He knew that I was working on something, because I was already kind of working on this. I just didn't know what that looked like. So I really trusted that he was going to help me build something, right? He stole a lot from me. He did. It says extremes in how you give and receive money, time, emotions. This man, not only did he take from me financially, he withheld emotions. He was actually quite violent. Yeah, it was with my time, like I said, I had my job, and he created a lot of conflict in my life. He was he used to say that he claimed to be ill, that he had some breathing problems, and so I would be at work and I'm just trying to make money, right? And he would call me, oh, I need to go to the hospital and this and that and this and that. And I would have to rush home and leave work. And, you know, he created a lot of he created chaos in my life. And, you know, I saw things as black and white, you know. He's, you know, it's either he's going to help me or he's not realizing that, you know, there's all kinds of shady gray areas that, you know, he was dwelling in, you know. So we're gonna look into him. Let's get started, you know. Let's I mean, I'm just gonna pull cards and see what Spirit wants to say about this situation. This was we accept what we believe we're worthy of. So by accepting this man in a relationship, first card that came out, the Devil, by accepting this relationship, you know, it was because Spirit allows things to happen in our lives because Spirit wants to, you know, it was almost like it needed to happen to get me on the correct path. Because even though I was, you know, I had my home, I had my jobs, I was financially stable. There was no craziness in my life, but I wasn't content. I was asking the universe, please, you know, there has to be more to life than this, than just working and coming home, sleep, you know, doing it all over again, you know. And I didn't have it wasn't like terrible, you know. I had weekends off. I just, you know, I don't know. You know, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't fulfilling for me. And so I kept asking the universe for more. And I remember the day that the next card, hold on, we have the Seven of Swords and the Three of Cups. I'm going to break these down, but going back, I remember the day that I met him. I had asked I was asking the universe, please send me the people that I need in my life to make the changes that I want for my life. And that day I got ready and I went out, and that's where I met him. I actually met him at a gas station. I had gone in to buy, I don't remember, probably a weed pipe. Because it was a weed pipe, because I always break my pipes, right? So I went into the gas station, and that's where, you know, he was at the Bitcoin ATM, and he saw me and he followed me out, and we started talking. And the way he was talking, I was like, oh, you know, I was like, you know, the universe, this is the person that the universe had sent. It really was. Because the universe was like, all right, you want more? I'll send you the people that are going to get you on the right path. And so I thought this was going to be a good person in my life. And sometimes the universe will allow people to kind of create disruption, because things in my life had to come crashing down for me to start rebuilding in a new way, right? But regardless, you know, of how that played out, we're gonna look into the truth of what he did to me. Because I know that there's my exes running their mouths saying that I was this and that I was that, and so we're just going to get to the truth of it. I'm not saying that I regret what happened, because it got me where I needed to be today. So this isn't some I want to get back at my ex. I'm just trying to clear the air, yo. Okay? We got 3 cards. The first card that came out is the Devil. The second one that came out is the Seven of Swords. This is dishonesty. This is manipulation. And then we have the Three of Cups, which is usually there's a third party involved. I didn't know that at the time, okay? So let's break this down. Let's see what the Devil has to say. What does Spirit have to say about this Devil? All right. I had a lot to learn. And this man, this man caused me a lot of heartache. I had to learn a lot, because what I've come to realize is that now, as I am today, I will never stay in a situation that I know is not good for me. Whereas, because I know I'm very confident in my abilities in myself, where I wasn't when I met this man. You know, I was already making the changes towards, you know, trying to work towards something new, but I didn't know what the next step was. So Spirit's like, you know, yeah, it's good you're doing this, but you know, you're it's not happening fast enough. This, you know, this has to come crashing down. There's changes that need to be made. And Spirit did that. He sent this devil to do that. Okay? So let's see what the devil has to say. Yeah, I thought this man was going to be, I thought he was my happiness. I really did, you know, because, you know, I met his representative. You know, it wasn't really him. I met, you know, his representative, not realizing that what was behind it. This man was very sexually promiscuous. He did a lot of, you know, he was always online, probably, you know, he was meeting people online and having sex with him while I was at work. He would oftentimes steal my car. Yeah, he was giving, he was giving to other people. He could have been paying people for sex, or people were paying him for sex. I don't know. Yeah, these were secrets. These were secrets that were hidden. He created a lot of burdens in my home. He created a lot of burdens, you know, at home. Yeah. For me. Hold on, guys. I flipped my cards. Okay. I think I got it. Okay. He stole, when I say he created a lot of conflict in the home, it was with my children. What is this? What is this? Okay. All right. Got a lot. There was something that, you know, weak boundaries when it came to members in my family. It was very heartbreaking, because this could have been somebody who he got involved with, and the Spirit's like, that's the truth, that was his devilish behavior, and because of that, judgment is going to be called on him. Justice is coming in to balance those scales, right? This is karma. Karma's coming in for what he did. He was entertaining a third party, and this was somebody in my family. For a long time, these were secrets. These were secrets that just kind of recently had came out about the truth of what he was doing. Yeah, that's what the devilish behaviors was. Let's see what this Seven of Swords is. This talks about deception, trickery, you know, manipulation. Let's see what this is. Manipulation, that he was juggling. Yeah, he was giving to other people. Not only that, but he was probably already involved with someone else, and I didn't know that. Cause yeah, I didn't know that. What else can you tell us about the Seven of Swords Spirit? Death. What is the Death card? Sorry, guys. What is the Death card? Did I show you the Death? Yeah, this is someone who is very, very cruel. Again, it was because I had weak boundaries, you know. There was things about myself that I still needed to work on, things that I needed to heal. So I allowed this cruelty to happen, to continue. He often, you know, would gaslight me. There was a time where we were arguing, and we were in my bathroom, and, you know, the bathroom in my room was, you know, it was small, and he's kind of a big guy, and I was trying to get out, and he wouldn't let me out. He started to choke me, and the last thing I remember about that was, like, I remember I was getting woozy. He had his face right next to mine. He licks my face, and then everything went black. Next thing I remember, I'm coming to, because I had passed out because he was choking me. I lost consciousness, and I fell to the ground. Next thing I know, I'm waking up on the floor of the bathroom, like, what the fuck just happened, right? And he was trying to convince me that the reason that he didn't do it, that the reason why I passed out was because I was stressed out. That's what he was trying to tell me. He was trying to tell me that what happened really didn't happen. He was cruel, and that wasn't the first time. There was other times where he would get physically abusive with me. Spirit's like, that's the truth. He also did. You know. He was into the same stuff I was into, so he was into, like, magic and doing that kind of work, you know, not like me, obviously. I wasn't doing magic to do harm to others where he was. Okay, he could have been trying to, from what I understand now, like, he was trying to poison me, and he probably had help from people in my home. All right, what else can you tell us about? We're still looking into this. What else can you tell us about? You know, he was trying to act like he was very loving. You know, he was trying to act like he was very loving. I moved away from him. Okay, we got the Page of Swords. He's trying to act like he was very loving and caring. He was very deceptive. He could. Oh yeah. Okay. So deceptive about that. Then we have the star. You know, this is you know, notoriety, fame. I remember he used to say, you know, oh, I know so and so. I know so and so. You know, apparently like some, you know, celebrities, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't really give a fuck. I ended that with him when I found out that he was giving to other people and that he was juggling me. The moment I found out, and I got light of what it was that he was really up to, that you know, it wasn't the abuse that made me leave. It was the fact that he was cheating on me, you know, because I've been there, done that. And you know, the abuse, like, I had to do a lot of healing after that to try and understand why is it that I would allow that kind of behavior, something that I didn't really want, but I stayed. And Spirit's like, yeah, it's because you thought this person was going to help you build your abundance. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was like, yeah, I thought I was stuck, you know. I thought I was stuck, that I wasn't going to be able to build this without him, because, you know, he used to act like he knew. Not that I was impressed with who he knew. I could care less. But, you know, that's something he always used to tell me, oh, you're never going to be able to do this without me. You need me to do this. If you really want to grow and be successful at what it is that I was doing, he told me, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to be successful without my investment of time or money or whatever. But he wasn't giving me shit. He didn't give me money. If anything, he was taking from me, making my life difficult. But he used to say, oh, you're not going to be able to do that without me. He wanted to keep me in a state of stress and worry about how was I going to make my work situation happen, you know, because I wanted to build something. I didn't know how, and he used to talk a good game about like, oh yeah, I you know, I can help you. I know exactly what to do. All right, anything else for the Seven of Swords? Hold on, a lot came out. Yeah, he was messing around with a lot of people. He was messing around with a lot of people. Like I said, he could have already been, and he could have already had a partner, and it was like him and his partner had made this decision. They made this plan to abuse me and use me and manipulate me and cause me a lot of burdens. So the moment I came to realize what it was, you know, I cut him out and walked away from him. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't expecting it. He really wasn't expecting it. Like, I just packed up all his shit and said, you need to go, you know. He wanted to keep me in the state of being trapped. Let's look into this Three of Cups. What is this Three of Cups? This man brought these people to my home. He tried to come off as this, you know, this great man, this, you know, very wise investor. He was, you know, like he had money. Like, he didn't have shit. At least, you know, money don't mean shit if you don't know, you know, if you're a whack ass person. Yeah, this person did a lot of he manipulated the energy around me in my home. He wanted to cause like work, you know, burdens for me. You know, I was trying to grow something, and he, you know, it was work with no reward. He also told me, oh, to make this happen, we have to move. You know, the Page of Wands talks about moving. Yeah, and that was the plan. So I sold everything. I was going to take that leap of faith because, again, you know, I thought this was the person that, you know, the divine had sent to me to make the changes in my life that I needed to make. So I was still under the illusion that this leap of faith was, you know, it was for me. Not realizing the divine will not allow things to come into your life and stay. You know, the divine will allow things to come to shake things up in your life. But the divine won't allow these energies to stay if they cause heartache. So yes, the divine did send this person, but it was not because I needed to take a leap of faith with him, but because I needed him to come and, you know, the Seven of Cups in reverse talks about getting clarity. I needed clarity about the people around me in my life. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't take that chance thinking, oh, this is the person that I'm supposed to be with. I thought I was taking a leap of faith, you know, with him, but Spirit's like, no, sweetheart, this man's a fool. He's gonna break your heart. He already had, you know, but you know, I need things in your life to get shaken up because there's some clarity that I needed. You know, I still needed some clarity. So that leap of faith was, you know, it wasn't about moving forward with him. The clarity that I needed was about the people that I had around me, the people that I called family. So this man came to destroy everything, to wreck everything and bring everything crashing down, only because I needed clarity about the people that I called family. Because if I hadn't gotten the clarity, I would have been working towards something to give to people that really didn't deserve anything. none of the fruits of my labor, because these people were deceptive and I didn't know that. I was very loving to them, but there were secrets surrounding my family, and I didn't know that. I needed the clarity. So the divine allowed this man to come and disrupt my whole life, just to bring me that clarity. Don't ask the divine, don't pray to God to bring you something better if you're not ready to make the changes, because the divine's like, I will bring it in, but it's gonna require you, it's gonna cause some disappointment, some sadness, and it's gonna require you to have to walk away from people. And I wouldn't have done that if this man hadn't came in, this devil hadn't came in and deceived me, because there was lessons that I needed to learn about myself. And okay, so let's continue on looking into this this Three of Cups. What else can you tell us about this Three of Cups? This person was already juggling me. He already had somebody involved. So when he already had someone that he was involved with. So when he told me, oh, we're going to move, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, he was secretly stashing money away from me, my money, And the problem is that, I was giving way too much of my money, my time, my energy to this man. That in spirit's like, you need to learn how not to do this. So we're going to teach you a very important lesson. And that's what this man did. He taught me a very important lesson. A lot of these things that I had been doing in many of my other relationships, thinking that they were very loving and caring, and what they were bringing was honorable, but there were secrets, that there was no honor in it, that there was someone else involved. And once I came to realize that part, okay, I was able to cut him out, right? And I cut him out, and I ended that cycle and started a new cycle, And since that breakup, a lot of things have, I took the time to reflect. I retreated. I withdrew to take time to get clarity on the deception that was around me. It had to happen, honestly. All right, Spirit, anything else before I end this one? Hold on, guys. Okay. Oh, this person came off as being like pretending to be reliable. This person made me believe that he was reliable, but he was really greedy and selfish. This man could be stressing about money. What could you? Yeah, this is karma. Now they could be going. Oh, they could be going to jail. They could be going to jail with judgment. Because of what they were doing for work. This man could have been stealing and this person, not only did he steal from me, he could have stolen from other people. So justice is going to come in. That's why, that's karma, yo. This man, he did some shady shit. He could have probably tried to get me into trouble, but I don't know if he's in jail or if he's going to go to jail, because he might get caught for the shit he was doing. Anything else? Again. This person was not working, or he might not be working now. And he's going into debt because of all the shit that he created. Like I said, guys, even, the divine will allow people to come into our lives. But just because God uses them as pawns, the divine uses them as pawns. But just because, God uses them doesn't mean that they're not going to suffer the consequences for the evil shit they do. You do evil shit to other people willingly, because we all have free will. It was his free will to deceive me and manipulate and steal and be violent towards me, and create chaos in my life. it was his free will to do that. He chose to do that. But the divine, like, okay, well, this man is going to try and do this. You need to learn a lesson. We're going to bring you guys together. And once he serves his purpose, then we're going to cut this out. And that's how it works. So I'm not sitting here saying, oh, he ain't shit, this and that, you know. I learned the lessons that I needed to learn. And he's going to learn the lessons he needs to learn if he chooses to. He's trying to hide. You know, from this all coming to an end for him. And it could be his freedom. He doesn't know that this is going to come. He doesn't see it, that this heartbreak this tower is about to come crashing down, because justice is coming in. Justice is stepping in. Because the truth is being revealed of what he was doing. And now he's worried. He's worried. How do I get away from this? How do I get people not to see this? Can't. Yeah, he was greedy. He was violent. He was manipulative. You know, he did a lot to me. And again, you know, there was things that I had to learn myself. You know, I had to learn who and how much I should give to people, who I shouldn't give to people. So this was a huge lesson for me in my life. So yeah, he was very, yeah, he was doing some shady shit, you know. There was so much more that I can say, but I'm just gonna leave it there, guys. And he was very manipulative, acting like he was this loving person. But the truth is, you know, he was trying to create so much conflict in my life, because he probably, like, whatever I was working towards, it was like he was trying to stop it. He didn't want me to be successful in what I was doing. It wasn't, yeah, he's trying to sneak away, like, trying not to get caught with he doesn't want to get caught. He doesn't want people to see what he was doing. All right, guys. Anything else? Spirit, before I let them go? Yeah. This man was unable to commit. He wasn't planning on committing, but it was like he wanted to bring this heartache and this sadness to my life, and I'm over here like, okay, laters. You know, let that tower come crashing down. I'm gonna have the victory regardless. And yeah, justice is coming in for, you know, I'm the empress, right? Justice is gonna come in, serve justice because of what he did. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna leave that there, and then we're gonna move on to the next one. We'll see you at the next one. All right, guys, this is the ex that I had before Chicago. I'm gonna call this one guy the Penguin. You know the Penguin from Batman, the villain? That's what he looks like. I don't know if you've seen the Batman where Danny DeVito plays the Penguin. That's kind of what he looks like, you know. This dude was not my type. I knew this person for a while. We went to school together. And I would have never dated someone like him ever. But when I came across him, I was going through a pretty devastating breakup. And when he came around, again, we always meet their representatives, right? But he seemed, after I break up with somebody, I think, okay, I want somebody like this. And, there was things that I was expecting every time I would break up with one guy. I would learn my lessons and think, okay, I'm going to do things differently. So I'm like, all right, well, with this one, he was educated, he has his engineering degree, and, he seemed like he was getting his life together. He was very smart, and I was very intrigued by that. And he was very, he seemed very kind to me. And the truth is, I was going through a pretty hard breakup. Somebody that I had been with for 13 years, I was going through it with this man, and he came along and kind of offered that you know, that he seemed like somebody I could kind of lean on, and he seemed to be all right with my kids, and you know, I thought it was going to be different, but it didn't turn out that way. So we're going to put one of these Angel of Wisdom cards, tarot cards, to get a message for the penguin. Yo, like I tell you, it was not my type. And you know, I saw this meme that said, give the ugly guy a try, you know, he's the one who's going to treat you right. And I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, you know, that ain't true. You know, he's the one that kind of fucked me over, like, you know, several times. You know, I even took this motherfucker back thinking, you know, he was going to be different, but no. Yeah, so the first one is the Page of Earth. Scholarly, cheerful, dependable, mischievous, time to get to work, an excellent opportunity presents itself. So yeah, like I thought he was, you know, I thought, oh, you know, he's scholarly, you know, he's dependable. I thought he put his mischievous ways behind him. I thought it was a good opportunity, you know. I was like, okay, well, you know, it seems like he's grown, and he was, because he's somebody who talked about knowledge of self and growth, and you know, just he that's how he came off. And I was like, I remember telling him, you know, I'm kind of jealous, you know, to think, you know, he's grown so much, and I was thinking to myself, you know, it would be, I told him I'm kind of jealous. I can't wait till I get to that level, because I saw him as above me. All right. Anything else from these cards? So, well, yeah, I really thought that, you know, he brought something to the table. All right. So let's look into the truth about this ex. You know, this man also stole from me. You know, he was very cruel to me and my children. At first he wasn't, you know, he seemed like he was, oh, my kids liked him. He was fun. You know, even, I went to Hawaii with this man, and I'm sure he ran around telling everybody that he took me, he paid for me, blah, blah, blah. I paid for my own ticket. Let me just put that out there. He didn't pay for my plane ticket. I took my own money. The only thing that he offered was, we didn't stay in a hotel. He had a cousin that lived out in Hawaii, and so we stayed with his cousin, you know. So I'm not taking that away from him. Like, I wouldn't have gone to Hawaii if it wasn't, you know, if it wasn't for him. But he didn't pay my way. I did. And he didn't even give me the place to stay. His cousin did, you know. But, you know, it was because of him that I had that place to stay. But he'll run around and tell everybody, oh, I took her to Hawaii. I did this. I did that. You know, he really didn't. So, okay, let's start. We're going to start with the Two of Cups and the Devil. And then we got the Six of Pentacles. Okay, let's start with the Two of Cups. Like, he came off as very caring and charming, and like, oh, I can give you the world, right? But his offer was deceptive. It was, you know, it was cruel. It was cruel, and I didn't know that. Because had I known that, of course, you know, I would have been like, no, thank you. Just thrown him away like that. But this man too had things to teach me. You know, I wasn't seeing things clearly. The Six of Pentacles, this man ran around telling everybody that I didn't want to work, that because he had a degree, he thought, oh, I'm like hot shit, I make all the money. But the truth is, like, he gave the bare minimum and kept, you know, like, I remember I was reading some old journals, and I remember his son's birthday. I was really upset because he was like, on my daughter's birthday, we don't share any children together, okay? So for my daughter's birthday, she was turning 17, and he's like, I don't think we should give her anything or do anything for her because she's old enough. But then his son has his birthday, and he's, you know, spending all this money. He would never spend anything on me. He would never spend anything on my kids. It was always about him and his. He was very selfish. He always like gave the bare minimum to me and my kids while keeping the rest for him and his son. He would always hide and cover up, you know, shit that his kid would do. And a lot of times I would get upset with him. We would have arguments about that because I would tell him, you know, if you keep covering up for him, he's never going to learn his lesson. You know, I'm big on letting your kids have to hold your kids accountable for the things that they do. And he would say, oh, you just hate him, you want to ruin his life and this and that. And you know, he would talk crap about my kids, but my kids weren't out there doing the shit that his son was doing, you know. But he would always punish my children. He was very cruel that he even you know, when my daughter got really upset, you know, kids get angry when they feel like they're not being treated fairly, right? My daughter got really upset with him, and, you know, we were all kind of like arguing. He threatened my child, my daughter, he threatened to send his friends and his cousins to rape her. He told her, I can have people over here and rape you. He threatened her like that. And this is a man that works with children. He, again, you know, he runs around talking about knowledge of self but he's, you know, he was very, he'll try to hide from what he really did to my children. He created a lot of conflict, but he likes to sneak away like, oh, I'm not like that. I'm not like that. He really tries to hide what he's done. You know, and he, like I said, he threatened my daughter that he would rape her, that he would send his friends and his people to rape her. And I remember just freezing, like, I just couldn't believe, you know, me and him got into this big fight. He ended up taking her out and to apologize, but he kept doing this kind of stuff. He wasn't a good man. He wasn't. And I've learned throughout my relationships that I was in really bad situations because I actually believed that I didn't deserve any better. And my children paid paid for that. Oh yeah, he's gonna be nervous when he finds out, when people start finding out what he really did. And his work, because like I said, he works with children. He's a coach. Anything else for this month? Anything else? What else does Spirit want to say about him? Yeah, he's trying to act like he's he liked to pretend that he was like very abundant. Like I said, he thought very highly of himself because he had a degree. He thinks he can behave this way because he went to school. Okay, he really did think very highly of himself, right? Yeah, he was a bully. He was abusive. Again, he used to run around telling people that, I remember we went to a boxing, like a boxing match, and us and some other people we went out for dinner. And he told one of the other coaches, oh, well, she doesn't like to work. She just wants to spend money and she doesn't like to work. He used to get mad about me spending my money because I had a job. I worked. I paid half the rent. You know, I chipped in I paid half the bills, but he wanted everybody to believe that he was this great person that took care of everything because he was like this high, this big baller. When I paid, I paid my ticket to Hawaii. I had my own spending money. I paid half the bills. I worked, and anytime I went out to even buy a coffee, it was like, you don't have money to be spending like that, blah, 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 blah. It was my fucking money. But he would run around telling everybody that I never wanted to work, that I was lazy. Oh, that used to piss me off. I was like, you, yeah. He used to like to fight and argue and talk shit, and he would, you know, he always wanted to overpower me, or he thought I was stronger than him, and that made him insecure. I remember he was talking shit about, the kind of work that I did. I clean houses, but I managed, and he used to say, well, I want you to show me one other person that makes as much as I do. And I remember he was saying this in front of my mom at the time, when he said this, and I looked over at my mom. I said, my mom makes more than you, and she didn't go to school. He thought he was better because he wanted people to believe that he was this strong, abundant man. But what's the truth about him? Let's put these cards back and see what Spirit has to say. What does Spirit have to say? What's the truth? He was very sexually promiscuous. He messed around. He was cheating on me with somebody that he worked with, or somebody that he saw as more abundant, because he's all about money and greed, and he's very sexually promiscuous and impulsive. So he was messing around with somebody that he saw more established than me, made more money than me. That's probably who he left me for. Well, he didn't really leave me. I kicked him out once I realized what he was up to, that he was doing devilish shit. I was just like, all right, you want to be that way? Then go on, get the fuck on out of here. That's what I did. I don't play with that shit, man. The moment I find out somebody's cheating on me, I'm done. Because obviously, I'm not for you. Because if I were for you, you wouldn't feel the need. And it's not like I was so horrible to him. I worked, I cleaned, I cooked, I took care of the kids. I did everything a good wife, a good mother, a good partner would do. And he took advantage of that. But he'll make other people think that he's, I was the bad one. He was very sexually promiscuous when I was a good partner, and he was just messing around, and he was trying to get away with that. So when I found out the truth, I cut him out. When I found out the truth about this third party, I cut him out. I don't know if you can see them. When the truth about this third party came out, I cut him out. What is he saying? What is he telling people? Oh, that he's telling people that he didn't want me, he discarded me, that I would try and come back to him, but judgment's being called on him. Yeah, he's trying to come off as this high and mighty emperor. This is a boss. A father figure, but the truth is his life is very chaotic. His money might be he might be struggling financially too. What else does Spirit have to say about this man? What else does Spirit have to say about this man? What truth does Spirit have to reveal about him? Oh, Spirit's saying when I walked away, when I ended this, his world came crashing down. Again, he could have been messing with somebody that he worked with, because he worked in a job that is contracted by the government. It was a military type job. I'm not saying that the reason that because I left, or I kicked him out, that's why his world came crashing down. It's karma for what he did to me. These secrets, when he was trying to put on this front that he was this caring, loving man. He really mistreated me, trying to act like he's very abundant. Oh, that's what it is. He's trying to, the secrets are that he's putting up this front like he's financially abundant, that he's happy in the situation that he's in, but he's not. He's not. He's very disappointed with how his life turned out, but he'll put up the front that he's happy. All right, anything else? Anything else? Yeah. What's going on, like, in his world now? What's his karma? You know, and don't think that just because, like, you know, one thing happens in your life, you know, karma comes in waves for the multiple things that he's done, not just to me, but to my children, to even to his own son. His own son is, you know, probably got into a lot of trouble in, you know, in his life because his father never held him accountable for the things that he was doing. And you know, our children are a product of how we raise them. So when your kid is seeing you doing stupid, reckless shit, your kids are gonna grow up doing stupid, reckless shit. Your family, your kids are seeing this, you know, and you know, he was very hard. He was very hard on my kids. He was very hard on his son, but he always let his son get away with shit. Like, his son would steal from my kids, and then, you know, he would blame my kids as being liars. You know, he would say my kids were liars, that his son wouldn't do that, when in fact that's what he was doing. He was stealing. Now, his son was stealing from my kids while his dad was stealing from me. He was taking my money and tried to tell everybody, oh, well, you know, she doesn't do shit. You know, he was really trying to hide what he was doing. Yeah, again, trying to hide. I put these back and they flew right back out. He was trying to hide what he was really doing. He's trying to hide how cruel he was with his words. Again, that Knight of Swords, this is somebody who's really reckless with their words. Again, remember, this is the man that threatened my daughter that he would send his friends and his cousins to rape her. This is a man that works with children and runs around telling everybody that he's this respectable man when he's really not. He's a liar, and he's trying to hide who he really is. Anything else, Spirit? This man, who tries to come off as this emperor, like this very stable and honorable person, is very cruel and reckless. Then we have the Death. What's the Death about? What's the Death? What's the Death about? Things are going to end for him. The work that he does with these kids, this information is going to cause conflict in his life, and he might, you know, the work that he does with these children might come to an end. He thought he was going to have this Wheel of Fortune, but he's going to get caught for who and what he really is. Somebody's going to make that decision to say, nope, we don't need someone like you around in our company. Yeah, you're going to have some bad luck. You're after getting caught. You know, yeah, you're not, because you're cruel. You're horrible, you're cruel, and you're selfish and greedy, and you're sexually promiscuous. Those were all secrets. These were all secrets that you try to, this is the kind of person that will tell people, will throw people under the bus to make themselves look good. They will lie, they will deceive people, they will gossip and start rumors to make himself look like the better person. Because image, money, all this stuff is really important to this man. Those were secrets, but judgment is going to be called on him. Yep. Anything else you want to say before I let them go, Spirit? About the penguin? Yes, about the penguin. Any final words for the penguin? I call him the penguin because that's what he looks like. He looks like the penguin when the Danny DeVito penguin, that villain. Yeah, that's what he looks like, yo. Okay. Yeah, you're going to have some burdens when this truth comes out. Your money is going to be affected. Your home life is going to be affected. Yeah, and if you wanted it, if you had a new like project, a new job or something new that you've been working on, that's going to come to an end. The divine is not going to let that. The divine is going to end that. This is spirit saying nope. There's going to be change in your life, a big change, and it's going to cause a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting, a lot of conflict in your life because you've been trying to hide who you are and lying on other people to make yourself look good. All right, guys, I think I'm going to leave that there. Good luck to you. We'll see you at the next reading. All right, guys, we are going into the next reading for my ex. This guy, I was with him for 13 years. 13 years, bad luck, man. Let's see. Let's pull one of these angel wisdom cards to get the message for this particular ex. This man, like, you know, I was with him for 13 years, and in 13 years that I was with him, we could never seem to get ahead, and I never knew why. Just to find out, I just recently found out that he was using drugs for a long time, and I had no idea. I wasn't around people who used and abused drugs, so I didn't know what that looked like. And towards the last year of our relationship, this was towards the last year of our relationship, that's when the shit hit the fan. His dad had gotten cancer and he was very ill, and then so I thought that that's when he upped his drug use. That's when it really started to, like, I started to notice. Come to find out, he told me, no, that's not when it started. That's when I just didn't care about you finding out. So he had been using that shit since the beginning of our relationship, really. Okay, so, and him and his family, they meddled a lot. They were, their family, they were like, it was like a virus that they infected every relationship that, any family member that had a relationship, they were like a virus and they would infect it. There was no boundaries with this family. Oh, the first card we got is the Ten of Swords. Okay, this says the end of a situation brings relief, sadness, or both. The opportunity for new happiness, a weight off your shoulders, the end of an addiction. Yeah, this is very fitting for this relationship. When it did finally, it took me a long time to, it took me about a year to finally get over it. But it was a relief. It was the best thing that could have happened, because I didn't realize that he was using and abusing drugs, and it was a very bad situation where we could never pay our rent on time. We were always late on our car payments. Like, we just could never get ahead in life, and it had a lot to do with his addictions, which I didn't know. He was always taking money. Oh, I need to use this part of this rent money because I need to fix the car. I need to do this. The car needs this. Car needs that. Like, not realizing that the reason he was doing that was because he needed money for drugs. And so I was the one always stressed out, trying to come up with the money, trying to deal with all the late fees and dealing with our landlord. And I was the one who had to take the brunt of it. That's why when he finally was gone, it was a relief. It was sad because this is who I was with for 13 years. But towards the end, he ran off with this drug dealer's girl. Judgment's going to be called on him, or judgment has been called on him. You know, he's clean now, and he's trying to get on the straight and narrow, which is cool, you know, because I want him, you know, walking away was the best thing for me. When I walked away, I called judgment on this situation. You know, this man and his family, they were bullies. They try to cause create a lot of conflict in my life. You know, his mother, to try and keep just one of my children, one of my daughters, she wanted custody of her, and to do that, she called Child Protective Services and accused me of being abusive, and that I was a drug addict. You know, they created so much conflict in my life that, you know, they didn't, and this is the sad thing, is that they didn't care what happened to my other kids. They just, as long as she got that one kid, and it wasn't even my ex that wanted her. It was his mother. And so she created all that stuff, and the whole time, yeah, she created a lot of conflict. Him and his family created a lot of conflict in my life, and they didn't care. They didn't care what kind of chaos was created in my life, as long as they got what they wanted. This is the kind of people that they were. And he, you know, he was so wrapped up in his own world. His family let him do whatever the hell he wanted. Again, this is somebody who was always, you know, his mommy was always cleaning up his messes. And, you know, and when I was with him, I was the one having to clean up all his messes. And then I got to the point where I'm like, I can't do this no more. Being with this man made me feel trapped. I just couldn't do it anymore. So it came to an end. I remember when there was, yeah, you know, Spirit's like, not only that, but he was sexually promiscuous. He did cheat on you. I didn't realize this, but, you know, I knew towards the end he did, but the whole time I was with him, I always saw him as a very faithful and loving. But Spirit's like, he was deceptive. He was cheating on you. Spirit's like, that's the truth. He was trying to hide that. He didn't want me to know about that, because I would try, once I got the information, I would have ended it. Yeah, I would have ended it and went towards something new. And that's why it was important for him to not let me find out what was going on in the home, that he was stealing. You know, he was stealing our rent money, always stressing me out, you know. Ugh. Looking back at it, man, if I would have known a lot of this stuff sooner, I wouldn't have stayed. I would not have stayed. Nope. What else does Spirit have to say about this situation? Yeah, this man and his family, man. I remember when we had split up, I was still having to drive my children to a different city to finish out the school year, because I worked there too. So I would take them to school, I would go to work, I would get off work, I would go pick them up, and then we'd go back home. You know, it was a 45-minute drive to where we lived. And this man, I went to pick up my kids from school one day, and they were gone. And I can't remember how long. I don't remember exactly how long, but I remember calling Child Protective Services. I'm like, he's taking them out of school. Like, what the hell? And they're like, well, there's nothing we can do, because he has rights to the kids. And I'm like, fair enough. But they're not even going to school. He's not taking them to school. And I was like, I guarantee you, I was like, call him. Because it was his sister that would pick up the kids. And I told, because I went to the school, and the school wouldn't release them to me, even though I didn't have any, you know, anything saying that I couldn't pick them up. It was because of the words, the lies that they spread about me. They said I was a drug addict, I was this, I was that. And I remember calling the police, and the police, I was like, you need to come and tell these motherfuckers to release my children to me. And they're like, no, because the father has rights to the kids. And I was like, okay, well, call the father and see if he shows up. And he didn't. He was never around to take care of these kids. Like I said, it wasn't even, his family used him like a puppet, because they knew he wasn't responsible. They knew he didn't care. And they were accusing me of everything that he was doing. It was a relief when I finally got rid of that man. Ugh, it was such a relief. He was a drain on my finances, my energy. He was just a burden. He was a grown-ass man child. You know, he was emotionally manipulative. Oh, my God. A lot came out. I don't think I'm going to keep them all. Oh. Yeah. He was very greedy and self-serving, this man. He was always about instant gratification. What can I get in here and now, right now, to make me happy? Ever since, he's had a lot of bad luck when it comes to his work. He hasn't been able to get on a stable footing. You know, he's a grown-ass man in his 30s that, you know, still living with his sister, you know, because he can't seem to get stable on his own. You know, he's always trying to hide from his problems. Got the star. What's the star? Oh, this is me. He's like, you are my star. Yeah, he tried, you know, and like I said, you know, he's trying to get his life together, which is cool, you know. I want to see him do well, you know. We do have children together, so if, you know, it's not this, I hate you and I want to see you suffer, and, you know, because you don't want your kids to see their other parents struggling and suffering like that, you know. You want to see them do well, but he tried to make it like, oh, you know, you were the best thing in my life, and, you know, he was trying to like make it seem like he wanted to come back, and I was just like, yeah, no. Why? Because I got clarity. I got clarity on what it was that he was really up to. You know, I got clarity years ago. You know, this is like, you know, this was a 13-year period with this man that, you know, I am never going to go back to that. Nope. The five of this, you know, he got caught. You know, I got clarity, he got caught, and he's now, like, he was trying to hide from what he was doing, and now he's trying to say, oh, you know, you are my happily ever after, you are my what I want. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but no, thank you. Not going back down that road. It's like it's enough to make you kind of sick. Like, yeah, Anything else? Yeah, you know, his lies about me, and the lies that his family spread about me caused me a lot of burdens. It created a lot of chaos in my life because of these lies. Anything else for this one? Yeah, like the best thing to do is just to kind of sneak away, just quietly move away. Because like I said, he ran off with his drug dealer's girl. He was not in the right state of mind. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. Like, you know, you stay busy over there while I sneak away, because I didn't want the conflict, the craziness. I just wanted it to be over, right? Yeah, I wanted a change in direction when it came to my life. And so sneaking away quietly and just quietly ending this was the best thing that could have happened. I was able to focus on me, on my work, on my family, and finding happiness within myself. You know, I had more money, you know, when I left this man. I had my rent where I moved to, I was paying more in rent. I had a car payment. I had all these bills that I had to pay. I actually paid more than what we were paying when we were together, and we had 2 incomes, and I still had more money than I did when I was with him, even though I was paying more. I was paying more with my bills. You know, this man had me in this state of, I don't know how to get out of this financial burden. He was the financial burden. And when I finally left, it's like, my rent's more, my car payment's more. I have all these extra bills that just, and only one income, just my income. But regardless of whether or not, I was paying more on one income, I still had more money. I had money to go spend because I cut him out. Yeah, his family created so many burdens, and looking back at their situation right now, I'm just like, wow, I am so glad I got out of that. Yeah, I am so glad I got out of that. Looking back, it's just like, wow. You look back and you're very grateful that you learn the lessons that you learn. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna end this one here. These are just like some of the really big relationships in my life that have taught me very valuable lessons. They weren't, I've been through a lot when it comes to my relationships, and I have a lot to learn about myself. Yeah, we stay in toxic situations because we there's something that we have that those relationships are meant to teach us. And if we don't learn those lessons, we're going to continue on with these unhealthy patterns, accepting less than what we deserve. We deserve more, but our traumas from our childhood has us in this loop of toxicity, and from childhood with our family, and that spills over into our relationships. So I had to go through very, very difficult lessons to finally learn the truth of what it is that I deserve. And I've gotten to the point where I will not accept anything less than what I know I deserve. And so, yeah, I see things now differently. And yeah, it's definitely taught me a lot, and I'm okay with that. I won't do it again. I wouldn't want to do it again, but I'm grateful for the lessons. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna leave that there. I hope you found this entertaining, and I think I'm gonna come back and do another one for some of no, I think I'm going to save that for the frenemy spread. So I think I'm going to just leave this one here. And next week, we're going to look into old classmates, old people from church, old friends that really were undercover haters. Okay. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time.